think? Is she woman or is she wax?
Hey, listen. Hey, what is this? Break it up! Break it up!
Tony, please go away. Please, Tony.
You can't say things about my wife.
But that's the sort of detective you hit. Now will you go?
Good grief.
Hurry, darling. Darling, you all right?
Oh, sure. It's nothing. I'm sorry, Morris, but that guy was saying things that...
He was arrested.
Well, he should have been.
I got fired. I'm no longer reposing on my sweet repose.
On account of me?
No, the man just said I spoiled everything. Tony, did you find anything today?
You sure married the wrong guy, honey.
Tony, I never want to hear you say that. Just the wrong season for the show business, Tony. But we'll get something, and at least in the meanwhile, we're eating and we have a place to live.
It isn't our place, is it?
No, it isn't our place. But, Tony, I wish it's awful being married and can't tell anybody.
I think there was something immoral about being married.
Well, we all of us promised not to fall in love.
I sure hate to think what would happen if the rest of them found out we got married.
Yes, me too.
It won't be forever, honey. After Mr. Kenny's seen us in our play and everybody's got a job, we can yell it from the housetops.
From the Empire State Building.
Hiya, kids.
Come on.
Wait, old boy. Well, I got terrific news. You know that juvenile part in Love by Night?
Yes?
I didn't get it.
Well, let's go home, shall we?
Coke and cherry, please.
You should have seen the juvenile that got the part. Juvenile, ye gods, they had to carry him up on the stage. He must have been 40 years old. 40? Yeah. Don't they realize that audiences like to see young people playing young people?
When Arthur Kenny comes back, maybe it'll be different. He believes in your faces.
Well, ours is certainly new.
Yeah, and that's another thing. The biggest producer in town out scouring the straw hat circuit for new talent when New York's full of it.
Yeah, right in his own backyard.
Well, at least in the same apartment house.
Take it easy, landlady will hear us.
What a day.
Oh, good evening. I was just waiting for you.
You were, Mrs. Garnett?
Yes, the rent, you know.
Well, you'll have to see Miss Coburn about that, Miss Garnett. You know, it's her apartment.
Oh, sometimes I don't know just whose apartment it is. It's very confusing.
Well, it confuses us, too, sometimes, Mrs. Garnett. I know just how you feel.
The last time I mentioned the rent, Miss Coburn said she was expecting a check from her father.
Oh, that.
Oh, yes, that.
Well, that was dreadful.
It was?
You see, Mr. Coburn was in an accident.
He was? Oh, yes.
Yes, you see, he was rushing to the bedside of his dying brother, and the car got smashed up, so Dolly had to send him the money to get him out of jail.
Why, she did perfectly right. Heavens, how horrible.
We knew you'd feel that way, Mrs. Garnett.
Mrs. Garnett, that's Mr. Kenny's apartment, isn't it?
Why, sure it is. Did it mean anything, your being in there?
Is he back in town, Mrs. Garnett?
Who?
Mr. Kenny.
Oh.
Well, if he isn't coming back, what were you doing in his apartment?
Oh, I was getting it ready for Mr. Kenny, the producer, you know.
That's what we asked you, Mrs. Garnett. Is Mr. Kenny back? Ask her slower.
I'm sure I don't know. I simply got a telephone call to get his apartment ready.
Did Mr. Kenny call you himself?
Oh, no. Dear me, I hope he'll be all right.
Who?
Why, Mr. Coburn's brother.
Why?
Oh, yes. Well, we hope so, too.
Hello, George.
Hello, my dear.
Hi, George.
Hello, George. Hello. Hey, Norm, look at this.
It certainly never gets tiresome with George around here. You never know when you come home who he's going to be.
You see, I'm supposed to be an old man who...
Not supposed to be. You are an old man. What does Stanislavski say about that?
Kate home yet?
Yes, my dear, she's here.
Say, old man, has the laundry come back?
Not yet, but I'm waiting for it to walk in any minute.
I could certainly use a shirt. Tough walking around town with your coat buttoned up to your nose.
Any mail? Yeah, you got it. I did. You sure did. Good grief.
Army, huh?
Yeah.
Report for your physical?
Well, maybe they won't take you.
What do you mean, not take him? He's not married or anything. Why shouldn't they take him?
Well, maybe they won't. For instance, I took my physical today. How'd they classify you? 5G.
5G? I didn't know there was such a thing.
That's what the doctor said that examined me. Look, there's no use in getting the girls upset, is there? Don't mention my getting this, will you? Anyway, until I find out, you know.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Do you think he was acting funny?
He's been acting funny a lot lately. You know what I think?
What?
I think the guy's in the mood. In love.
Oh, don't be adolescent. We made a deal, didn't we?
Just the same.
Well, if I thought he'd pull a stunt like that, I'd break his neck. So help me, I'd break his neck. All clear, Mr. Kenny.
So, Mr. Kent, these are aluminum. Illegal or something.
Oh,
Welcome home.
why, thank you.
Listen, my bird-brained beauty, you're not to tell anybody that I'm here tonight, you understand?
Why, it's Mr. Kenny, isn't it?
When I'm here, I'm strictly incognito. Please remember that.
You're what, Mr. Kenny?
Incognito.
This is a respectable house, Mr. Kenny. I'll have you remember that. Don't think you can come here and do as you please, you know.
You'd think after 15 years of conversation with you that I'd have learned better, wouldn't you?
Yes, you really would. Wouldn't he?
Quite.
Hey, Norm, I've been reading that Stanislavski book like you told me, but I still don't get it. He sounds like a screwball to me.
Look, George, Stanislavski is the greatest exponent of the art of acting there has ever been. He's sound. He says simply this: don't pretend to be a character, be it. Live it. Only then can
Yeah, sure, but some of the things he gives you to practice on, like, pretend you're an apple ripening on a tree. Now, how on the...
No, George, no. Not pretend. Be an apple ripening on the tree. Be it. Feel the seed inside of you.
Only one seed?
Well, how do I know how many seeds you got? You're the apple, not me. Look, feel your seeds inside of you. Feel the sun beating down and your flesh getting soft. Your skin about to burst, getting beautiful red streaks on it.
Gee, what do I do when I'm real ripe?
What do? You fall from the tree, kaplunk. A rosy spear of lusciousness.
Why, Norman.
All right, I was only trying to help you.
Oh, no, I was only kidding. Maybe I should try it. If I only had a tree.
If you only had a tree. What does Stanislavski say about that? Improvise. There's your tree.
Oh, isn't it pretty? Well, fancy my missing that, and it's been here in the room all the time. You're sure it's an apple tree?
I'm afraid you don't have it, George.
Oh, yes, I do. You just wait and see. In just a little while, I'll be the rosiest thing you've ever seen.
Oh, how you do? I was looking for Daddy Cobra.
So was I. About the rent, you know.
How do you do? I'm Muriel Foster. What are you doing up there?
I think I just felt a seed. 2, I think. 2 beautiful little seeds.
Does Miss Dottie Colburn live here?
Do you notice any red streaks?
I say I'm Muriel Foster. I went to school with Dottie in Hoopsville, Illinois. What's the matter?
No, I think I've just been double-crossed by a bee.
I don't in the least understand what you're talking about. All right.
I must have been crossed with some strange tropical fruit. No northern apple ever felt like this.
Well, I guess I must be in the wrong apartment. But Dottie said it was this address.
We'll have a little rehearsal before supper. You could use some work on that second act scene. Yeah, there it is.
I beg your pardon.
Ah, there you are. What happened to that corpse?
You mean that ratty old corpse, sir? It disappeared.
Uh-huh. I'm not sure that you're entirely without blame.
Why should I want to murder that poor, unfortunate girl?
If I only knew that.
Oh,
It's all right. Now then, what happened?
excuse me. Is Miss Coburn here?
I don't know anything. I never saw the girl.
It's her laundry. I paid for it.
You were in the room when she was stabbed through the heart.
It's $1.83.
Speak up, curse you.
I said it was $1.83.
Please, Mrs. Garnett. Nevertheless, there's strange and weird things occurring tonight in Brooklyn. That peculiar woman.
Do not speak of her. She is good and kind and pure. She is my light, my bright angel.
But just the same, this was $1.83.
Please, Mrs. Garnett. We're trying to have a rehearsal.
How can we with all these interruptions?
Oh, you're acting?
Oh, ye gods.
You gave us the play in the first place, didn't you?
Did I? Well, wasn't that nice? It seems odd. There were 9 men's shirts and 6 pairs of pajamas.
No shorts?
Yes. 6 female, 4 male.
Good.
Well, it don't seem quite right. When Miss Coburn took the apartment, she said she might have a young girl visiting her from time to time, but, well, 9 men's shirts.
9 men's shirts. That's good. I'll speak to Miss Coburn when she comes in.
I wish you would. The laundryman looked at me so funny. He thought it was my wash. Imagine.
I can't.
No, I tried, but it wasn't any use.
Farewell, bright angel.
Farewell.
Say, Tony, do you have 2 pair of shorts in the laundry?
No, 1.
Huh, it must be George's. A girdle.
I'm right! George! George! I'll get some water.
Oh. You and your Stanislavski. Oh.
Listen, everybody, guess what?
You got a job.
Hello, Dottie.
That's the most wonderful thing.
Did you bring the hamburger?
What isn't it?
Dottie, you might have waited.
Don't tell me you brought steak.
No, it's absolutely true. Arthur Kenny's back.
Arthur Kenny.
How do you know?
Well, anyway, there's a light in his apartment.
A light in his apartment. Hope Mrs. Garnett doesn't find out about this.
Hey, there is somebody down there.
Mark, Kate, Miss Skinny is back.
How do you know? Can you see him?
No. Can you know him? No. Can't see him, but I can smell onions.
What do producers smell like?
Can you see anybody?
No. I guess Mrs. Garnett just left the light on.
What are you looking at?
Who's that?
Well, don't ask me.
Maybe she's been here all the time and we just never noticed her.
Dottie Coburn, if you don't speak
Oh, Muriel. I'm so glad to see you when you get in town. You know all these people.
well enough, thank you.
Oh, Muriel Foster, these are my apartment mates.
You mean you all live here in one apartment?
Why not?
Well, I don't think it's right.
And I know what you do think, and that isn't right either.
But what will people say?
My dear young lady, what possible harm can result from the fact that 3 girls and 3 boys share the same apartment? We banded here together for financial reasons and for no other purpose. Get it? No other purpose.
Oh, but I wasn't thinking anything like that.
No. She wasn't thinking anything like that.
You really are disgusting.
Well, if Dottie's father knew about
But
this,
he doesn't know.
I said if he knew, he'd be terribly upset.
But he isn't going to know, is he, dear?
Is he, dear?
Well, it's none of my business if Dottie wants to live in a...
A harem?
Well, I hope it's not that bad.
Oh, no, Muriel, it's fun.
I don't think so.
Oh, an isolationist, huh?
I don't suppose you've ever had any desire to be gregarious either, have you?
No, I haven't. Now, I'm leaving here right this minute.
Well, Daddy will go with you to the door to be sure you get out.
I certainly don't know what your father's going to think, Dottie. 3 boys living with 3 girls alone.
Oh, nobody's ever alone. You can't be with only 4 rooms. Of course, there's the bathroom, but with 6 people, it's difficult to even be there alone.
I still don't see why it's necessary to live here with 3 men just to get on the stage.
Oh, I don't live with 3 men, Muriel. The others are just Tony and George.
Oh, I see.
If we didn't live together, normally I'd have to go back to Rhode Island or failure and finish being a dentist without any train fare. Well, I guess I'd just die, Muriel.
Well, this is all very interesting. Now, I have a very interesting surprise for you, Dottie.
You have, Muriel? What?
You'll find out.
Bob.
Hey, look. Suppose this Muriel character does tell Mr. Coburn about us living together.
She could make plenty of trouble if she wanted to.
Yeah, and I think she wants to.
If Dottie's father stops her allowance, what'll we do?
I read where they discovered there's lots of nourishment in grass.
George, go get the hamburger. Good evening, Mr. Kenny.
How do you do?
Maybe she means Mr. Kenny. That's what he wanted to say, wasn't it?
Now, wait a minute. Are you sure?
I saw him downstairs by the door. Can you see him? He's got a big white hat on.
Yeah, I can see his head. It's moving. Oh, it's gone. Ye gods, why doesn't he stand still?
He might hear you.
Here he comes. Oh, gosh. I could spit right on him.
Oh, goodness, told George.
I never spit on a producer before.
I'd adore spitting on a producer.
But not this one. He's our only chance. We can't get him to see us. We're sunk.
Fine thing, having to see a producer through a peephole.
Well, he's down there. Let's go see him.
Not all at once, you'd think we were crazy.
Somebody should go down.
Yeah, should be a girl. Producers like girls.
Oh, not me. I'd be scared to death.
Not Dottie. She's too dumb.
I get it. Okay. Put on something awfully luring, Kate. Let's see. I've got that dress I wore in Anybody's Woman. Brought down the second act curtain, remember?
Yeah. And then the audience went home, I remember.
Well, it's kind of brazen, isn't it, Kate? This ain't no cornhusking bee, Marge.
In the hot tureen, who of such dainty would not stoop? Soup of the evening, beautiful.
Hello?
How did you get in here?
I came in through the pipe. I always do.
Well, please go away. I'm busy with a bouillabaisse here.
Makes a nice song title. Busy with a bouillabaisse.
Matter of fact, you know, Bellard was written to a bouillabaisse once. Thackeray wrote it.
No.
Yes?
Can you see anybody?
No. You're a very pretty girl, you know that?
Thank you.
What was it you said you came here for?
We want to be an actress. I mean, we are an actress.
Well, I can't imagine why you came to me.
You're Arthur Kenny.
Me? Oh, no.
You know?
No. I'm just the chef.
Well, couldn't you speak to him about me?
That is, if you're not afraid to.
No, I'm not afraid to speak to him. As a matter of fact, he respects my judgment. What makes you think you can act?
Well, my teeth, for one thing. The most beautiful teeth in America, the judge said.
Trying to bite your way into theater, huh?
And besides that, I'm the healthiest girl in Creek County.
Where is that?
Iowa. I was queen of corn at the fair.
Well, that ought to help. Healthy, you say?
You see? I have got something Arthur Kenny might want.
Yes, I think you have. I think he might.
He does come here sometimes, doesn't he? Oh, I know he doesn't live here, but I've heard he visits once in a while. I've often wondered why.
Well, Arthur's a very sentimental man. You might not believe it. He used to live here when he was very poor. It was in this apartment that Arthur wrote his first play. Beautiful little thing.
Was it successful?
He never had a chance to find out. He came home one night and found he'd been locked out.
Mrs. Garnett.
You know her?
I know her.
Well, his trunk was in the house and his play was in the trunk. Later, when he came back with the money to get it, it was gone. It was a terrible blow. Like losing one's first child.
Where'd it gone?
You said you knew Mrs. Garnett. Well, she thought she'd sold the trunk. She wasn't sure. So that's why Arthur keeps this apartment, comes back sometimes just to get away from everything. Also hopes that sometime Mrs. Garnett will remember what became of the trunk.
That's an awful lot to hope.
Well, and of course he can always cook. You know, Arthur loves to cook. Well, we shall know soon now.
No?
No. No.
Hey! Wait a minute. You threw it away, all that food.
Why, I wouldn't feed that to my pig.
Why, you capitalist, you bombastic bagpipe.
What did you call me?
Bagpipe. You wait till I meet Arthur Kenny, and I will meet Arthur Kenny. He's not the kind of man who throw perfectly good food away, I'll bet. I'll tell him how you took food out of people's mouths.
I didn't take anything out of anybody's mouth. And you keep out of my mouth.
When I think of those kids upstairs wrestling for a dime's worth of hamburger, I could... Bagpipe! Bagpipe! Go ahead and spit.
What did he say, Kate? Will he see us?
It wasn't him, it was his cook.
Well, did he say whether Kenny was coming back or not?
He doesn't know anything except about cooking. His fifth happened.
That's probably Mrs. Garnett coming after the rent.
I don't suppose you happen to have a loose egg about you, do you?
What?
Well, I have a rather exciting idea, and I need an egg.
I haven't any loose ones.
No, I didn't suppose you would have. I tried those people in there, but there's nobody home. Thank you.
Man but a rush against Othello's breast, and he retired. Where should Othello go? Now, how dost thou look now? This look of thine will hurl my soul from heaven, and fiends will snatch at it.
Oh, gee, was I that good? What are you reading?
A letter from home.
What are you crying about?
Our prize sow ate all her new little babies.
What?
They often do that.
Very intelligent. Something that should be practiced by the human race.
Norman, don't say things like that.
Well, I mean it. That's the whole trouble with the world, overpopulation, you know that.
But wouldn't the wrong people be eaten up sometimes? Supposing Mr. Kenny's mother had eaten him up when he was born.
All right, supposing.
Norman, please don't be morbid. It's very depressing when you get morbid.
I'm hungry, and it's very depressing when I get hungry, too.
Coming through. I don't know what you're belly aching about. If it wasn't for Dottie, you would be eating it all.
Did you hear that? Rubbing it in. You're paying the bills.
Please don't be mad at me, Norman. I'll stop paying them if you want me to.
Dottie! And let 4 innocent people besides ourselves starve to death?
I just don't want to do anything that would make you mad at me ever, Norman.
I'm not mad at you. Can't you see I'm hating myself until I can hardly stand it? Haven't you any perception at all?
I guess not, Norman.
Don't you think I know how much of a heel I am? Letting you buy the food and pay the bill? A girl?
I wish you didn't feel that way, Norman. I'm happy here and I wouldn't be anywhere else in the world. I want to be with you. I mean, with all of you.
Well, I guess it is a little different from life in Hoopsville, Illinois.
Yes, it is. That's why I'm always afraid that Daddy might find out about us all living together. I don't think he'd like it.
No.
See, he's part elk and part lion, and besides that, he's part Rotarian.
Yeah.
So you can see a man like that probably wouldn't even understand about your not wanting to finish being a dentist.
Please don't say that word.
I'm sorry, but people not in the theater can't possibly understand why it means so much to people in it. Or Daddy would probably think that finishing being a dentist would be a very fine profession, for instance.
Dottie, have you ever looked in somebody's mouth?
No, I don't believe I ever did.
Well, look in mine. Now, how would you like to spend the rest of your life looking at a thing like that?
I wouldn't mind. I mean, I guess it all depends on whose angle it is.
From anybody's angle, it's horrible. Well, don't you worry. We'll get a break somehow.
Yes, Norman. Somehow we'll get Mr. Kenny to see our
Oh, he
play.
hasn't been here for weeks.
But he will be. Maybe any night now. Really, he will, Norman.
We can just hold out.
Oh, we can.
If we do, it'll be due to you, Dottie. And after I get to be a success, you know the first thing I'm going to do?
What, Norman?
I'm going to get you front row tickets for opening night.
We'll get the cigarette ashes out of it. I don't suppose anyone's heard from Tony, have they?
He's trying out for a job. Isn't that enough? He said so, didn't he?
Yes. Well, I never heard of a show trying out in Monmouth, New Jersey. I can't understand.
I suppose just because they've always opened shows in Atlantic City, I suppose they've got to keep on doing it for the rest of their lives, I suppose.
No, it just seems strange. He's been gone so long.
All right. Maybe it's a good show. You ever thought of that? And besides, I want Tony back here just as much as you do. It's his turn to wash the dishes.
Well, don't you think he'd send notices or something if it were?
Oh, for Pete's sake, so Tony isn't here. So we haven't heard from him. So is that going to kill anybody?
I really ought to see Tony.
Why?
Oh, no!
Pray it's a job.
Pray it's a job, pray it's a job, pray.
Hello? Yes. What's that? Yes, this is Miss Coburn's apartment. You're what? You're who? Mr. Coburn. Mr. Coburn? You mean the Mr. Coburn who's Dottie's father? Well, me? Well, I'm Norman. Well, I'm Norman. Well, sure. Who'd you think? It's the janitor I am. It's after fixing the little leak in the radiator I came up about. Yes. I imagine you'd like to be speaking to your little chickadee, Miss Coburn. Erin Gabral, Shamrock and Shillelaghs. I'll fetch her. It's your father, Dottie.
Silly, he wouldn't call long distance unless he was dead or something serious.
It's something serious, because he's on the phone. Shit, Dottie's there.
Hello? Daddy, very careful. Why, it is Daddy. Well, I just said why it is Daddy. Wasn't that all right? Oh, I said it to Norman. He's the one that answered the phone. Norman? Why, he's...
Tell him I'm the janitor.
He says he's the janitor. Why, don't be silly. Of course not. In New York? Man? Oh, Daddy, that's silly. Oh, why don't you come over and see for yourself?
Tell him to walk. It's good exercise.
Walk, Daddy. It's good exercise. All right, Daddy. Hurry up just as slow as you can. All right, Daddy. Goodbye. Isn't it wonderful? Daddy's at the station and he's coming right over. That's just lovely. I bet that was the surprise that Muriel had for me.
Dottie, did he say he thought there were men here?
Well, yes. Now, I suppose he knew that.
Ye gods.
That Muriel.
I knew we should have destroyed her.
If we lose Dottie, we don't eat.
George, let's pack our clothes and get out of here.
Won't take me long to pack mine.
Dottie, for heaven's sake, go get dressed up in something. Yeah, something real feminine so you look like you don't do anything. That's right. Put on a lot of hand lotion, Dottie. All right. Hurry up, boy.
all my things.
Yeah, let's don't be too particular about packing them.
Your coat, George. Put it in here. Overshoes in the kitchen. Where's your raincoat?
Okay, Kate, get my raincoat. It's in the bread box, will you?
In the bread box? What's it doing in the bread box?
It keeps the bread fresh. Are you sure this is everything?
Well, I'm surprised there's this much.
Here. Oh, pipes.
Pipes? Yeah, girls don't smoke pipes.
Yeah, here's the bread. If Dottie's father finds out about this, he isn't gonna like it.
Yeah, and don't forget to tell Dottie's father that she doesn't even know what a man looks like.
And that you chaperone her every minute of the time.
I'll handle it. Don't worry. Just get out of here.
You sure this is everything now?
The laundry.
These towels. Put them in.
Oh, don't be silly. Girls use towels.
Dropping them off to YMCA. Here. You better hurry. You'll be here any minute.
Oh, just a moment.
Ow!
Oh.
Now listen, we'll go up on the landing across the street and then we can see when he leaves.
Yeah. Now, don't forget. Don't let him take Dottie away with him.
Yeah, tell him anything.
How did he get here so fast? Couldn't be.
Yeah, but it might be. Oh, Patty, dear, and did you hear the news that's going around? Sing.
Back to where we mother. Back home.
That's very pretty. I love music.
Ye gods.
Why don't you knock when it's you?
I did knock.
Well, then don't.
Don't what?
Knock when it isn't you.
What is it, Mrs. Garnett?
It's about the rent.
Oh, the rent?
Yes. I'd like to see Miss Coburn.
Oh, well, I'm afraid you can't. Not now.
Why, isn't she here?
Yes.
You see, she's in her room crying her eyes out. About her father, you know.
Her father?
Yes, the accident.
Oh, yes.
It was an awful shock to her.
The poor child. I know just what she needs. Salt.
What on earth are you talking about?
Just a little bit of Stanislav's. Come on, George, let's get out of here. Oh, Patty, dear, and did you hear the news?
That's the downstairs, Buzzy. You can still make it. Go on into the roof. How do I look? Don't forget, Dottie, you don't even know what a man looks like.
What in the world have you got on?
I'm feminine. But, Dottie, that's my fallen woman dress. You know, first act anybody's woman.
That was very feminine, I remember. I hope this isn't the flop that sure was.
Well, too late to do anything about it now. Your father's on the way up.
Dottie, please make him let us stay here. Tell her how much you love it, that you'd be miserable anywhere else.
You need to mention how we have to eat.
Oh, but I do love it here. I don't want to go anywhere else. That's it, only put more pathos in it.
I love it here.
That's better. Now go out and make an entrance when your father comes in.
She would pull a stunt like that. Why, hello, Muriel.
Is this the place, Muriel?
This is a place.
And I do hope this is Mr. Coburn.
Yes,
It certainly is.
Well, come right in.
We certainly will.
Thank you.
Daddy!
Oh, hello, Dottie.
I don't even know what a man looks like.
What'd you say?
She says she hasn't seen you for so long she hardly remembered what you looked like.
Well, when did you take to wearing clothes like
Oh,
that?
don't pay any attention to Dottie's dress, Mr. Coburn. She was just rehearsing something.
I told you I had a surprise for you, Dottie.
Oh, but you should have told us because we just...
Dottie, don't you think you should introduce us to your daddy?
Oh, of course. This is Kate Benson, Daddy.
I'm so glad to know you.
How do you do?
And I'm Sister Marge. Dottie's
How do
told
you
us
do?
so much about you. We feel that we've always known you.
Thank you. Dottie didn't mention that she was living with such charming young ladies.
I think you'll find Dottie didn't mention a lot of things.
What do you mean?
Well, Muriel has been telling me that...
Yes, where are the others?
Wonder where the what others?
You know what others.
I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about.
I noticed that the name card over your bell downstairs has several more names on it.
Oh, well, that's very simple to explain, isn't it, Kate?
Why, yes, of course. Those are the names of the people who lived here before we moved in. We just never thought of taking them off. We should have thought of it. We certainly should have.
At least we thought of everything else. Oh, won't you sit down, Mr. Coburn?
Well, thank you, but I just stopped in to see how Dottie was getting on.
I'm just fine, Daddy. Here you are.
Smelling so.
Oh, not now, Mrs. Garnett.
Pull in, Miss Coburn.
Mrs. Garnett, please.
What's the matter here?
Who are you?
I'm Mr. Coburn, Dottie's father.
Oh. Oh. We were so relieved to find that Mr. Coburn really had no accident at all.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. But how is your brother?
Well, his rheumatism bothers him from time to time.
I know just how he feels. You see, I often get a little pain right here. And here.
You must tell us all about it later.
In the morning, it's really unbearable.
Of course it is.
Sometimes I creak.
Who was that?
Mrs. Garnett.
Our landlady.
Why, Daddy had an accident?
She makes up the darndest things to talk about her rheumatism.
She lives a very narrow life.
Odd creature, isn't she? Dottie, are you sure this is the proper place for you to be living?
The proper place, Mr. Coburn? I don't quite understand.
Well, Muriel here has been telling me some very strange things.
She has?
Well, I can't imagine what you mean.
You know very well what I mean. You know very well what Daddy's doing.
But, Muriel, I don't see any evidence of...
Evidence of what?
Well, Muriel was telling me about some men sharing this apartment.
Men?
Man, I don't even know what a man looks like.
Why, Muriel Foster. Men?
Where did you ever get that idea?
I saw them, that's where.
Repressed, no doubt. How old are you, Muriel?
19, but I don't
It
see
doesn't
what
generally get them that young, does it?
Why don't you look in the other rooms?
Why, yes, what room would you like to look in?
Well, you understand.
Naturally, I know just how you feel. We want to be sure about Dottie, too.
Yeah,
Let's start with the kitchen, shall we?
if you like.
This is the kitchen.
Oh, it looks very nice.
We're particularly proud of the stove. You see, Muriel, no men.
Well, look in the bedrooms, please.
So is that where you'd keep men if you had men, Muriel?
I never had any men. You know it very well.
Yes, indeed. We know it very well.
We can go across this way. Daddy, this is what we always call the girls' bedroom.
Why do you always call it the girls' bedroom?
Because girls sleep here, silly. I can't think of any other reason. Can you, Maud?
Why, no, I can't think of any other reason. Can you, Dottie?
Huh?
Oh, Mr. Coburn, shall we?
If you like.
What's in there?
Oh, just some old clothes. You see, dear, no men.
Well, Dottie, looks to me like you've got a nice, quiet place to live here.
Oh, yes, she has. Dottie loves it here, don't you, Dottie?
Tell your daddy how much you love it here, Dottie. You know.
I love it here.
Well, Muriel, looks to me like you've been something of an alarmist.
I have not. You believe them and you don't believe me. There are men living here. I saw them.
What kind of men did you see, dear?
Well, one of them was up in that window, and he got ripe and fell out.
What?
And the other two were stabbing each other with knives.
She sounds definitely unbalanced to me.
I can't think what's happened to you, Muriel.
Well, I don't care. I know it sounds crazy, but they are crazy. And one of them wears a girdle.
Muriel, Foster, what kind of a story is that?
It's not a story. It's true. And what's more, they were looking at somebody through the floor, and one of them tried to get me to be gregarious. So there.
Muriel Foster, you trying to make trouble for me with my daddy?
No, Dottie. Muriel, I should like you to leave. I'll see you at your uncle's later, and we can go into this further.
All right. I suppose you'd like to be part of the harem. I suppose you'd like to live here, too, and get right.
I should like you to leave, Muriel.
I can't imagine what happens to girls when they come to New York. They seem to go all topsy-turvy, don't they?
What's that noise?
Oh, look, stage door no admittance.
Uh-oh, we seem to have sprung a leak, don't we?
Oh, plumbing, you know.
Sounds like a big drip.
Hey, George, Norman, where the heck's all the towels?
Well, and who are you? Yes, I guess Dottie's father would like to know, and who are you, too?
What in the world are you doing here?
Well, I just came in to take a bath.
A likely story, a likely story.
Who is this man?
I haven't the faintest idea, but if he knows what's good for him, he's going to get out of here. Fast.
The very idea of breaking into a strange apartment to take a bath, the very idea. I never heard of such a thing.
Go on, go get your clothes and get out of here.
Yes, well, I have to be running along now. Good day. Nice to have met you. Good day.
Just a minute, young man, not so fast.
But I needed a bath and some clothes. Look.
What made you think you'd find them here?
I don't know.
How'd you get in here in the first place?
I don't know.
Perhaps you had a key?
Yeah.
What?
No key.
You know these girls?
I don't know anything.
He doesn't even know what a girl looks like.
You'll tell me what this is all about, or by heaven, I'll thrash it out of you.
But I don't know anything. I'm stupid.
And I'll knock some sense into you.
Daddy, please stop it.
Perhaps you'll be good enough to explain then.
Well, see, it's like this.
Pardon us, have you seen anything?
Ah, just in time. He hasn't gotten violent yet.
Don't do anything to excite that man. He's liable to be dangerous.
Who are you?
Bellevue.
Please, step aside. Psychopathic ward. Move very slowly and very quietly.
Good heavens, the man...
You remember us, don't you? We're your friends. We like you. Come now, Stanislavski. We wouldn't hurt you for anything in the world.
Thank goodness we got here soon enough.
You said it.
Is he, you know...
Completely and hopelessly.
But everything's under control now. He won't cause any more trouble.
What's the matter with all of you?
Now there, little man, just relax and don't worry.
Well, I had no idea. He barged in here and started to take a bath.
Completely nuts.
And then he started screaming for a towel and some clothes that he wanted.
Yes, well, you see, he suffers from a peculiar delusion that he's dirty, bathes continually.
Are you trying to say I'm crazy? Of course, you're as crazy as a loon.
I am not. I won't have anything like that said about me. I'm as sane as you are. I don't know why you say I'm crazy just because I like to take baths. I love to take baths. I love to give other people baths, too. Love to.
Boo! Get him out of here.
He won't hurt anybody now.
Well, he might have killed us all. How'd you get in here?
Well, we were taking some lunatics over to Bellevue, and this one escaped.
Yeah, that'll never happen again.
I certainly hope not.
You too. Come on now, Stanislavski.
Well, I don't know that this is a safe place for Dottie to be in.
Oh, but Mr. Coburn, nothing like that ever happened before. Daddy, don't even say anything like that. I can't leave here. I love it here.
On account of Mr. Kenny. You see, Mr. Coburn, he lives in the apartment right under it.
He's the biggest producer in New York, Mr. Coburn, and he's crazy about Dottie. Is he?
Yes, he is, Mr. Coburn. He's just crazy about Dottie. And he's going to do awfully big things for her in the theater.
Big things.
Kenny, eh?
You're going to be awfully proud of this little girl someday, Mr. Coburn, when she's the biggest actress on the American stage. Why, Mr. Kenny was saying to me just the other night that he... Who is it?
Let me in. I want to get to your bathroom.
Another lunatic. Now, don't get excited. I'll handle this. Yes, come in.
What are you trying to do? Drown me?
Mr. Kenny.
Now,
That's
take it easy.
Kenny.
Take it easy. Everything's going to be all right.
Take it easy. I'm up to my knees in water down there. Do you hear?
Just pretend the water isn't there. Then it'll go away.
Something wrong with him?
No. There's nothing wrong with anybody. We're just trying to help you. We're your friends. We like you.
I'm not interested in your emotions. I want to get in your bathroom.
Wait, do you want to take a bath?
No, I don't want to take a bath. I've had a bath. My entire apartment is a bath.
Great heavens, that crazy man. Oh, Mr. Kenny, a perfectly strange lunatic came in and turned it on.
Well, tell him to turn it off.
Kenny, I'm J.T. Coburn, this little girl's daddy. They've just been telling me how
You'll
interested you are.
spare me the details, won't you, old man?
Mr. Kenny, we have a play we'd like you to
Hello
see.
there. Do you remember me, the Queen of Corn? Remember?
Bagpipe, eh?
So that was Mr. Kenny, the one who was going to do so much for Dottie. Well, this settles it. Unfortunately, I have to spend the weekend on Long Island because of business. But Monday morning, as early as possible, I shall return and take Dottie away from this insane asylum.
Daddy, please.
Dottie, you will be ready to leave with me Monday morning.
Well, I had to open my big teeth, didn't I? What's the matter, Squirt?
Nothing. Nothing.
What's the matter?
Where's Marge?
In the kitchen.
Well, what did Mr. Kenny want?
He wanted to be rescued from drowning.
Tony left the water running in the bathtub. Got all over Mr. Kenny's apartment up to his knees.
Well, did you tell him about our play?
You bet.
Well, what'd he say? What'd he say?
He wasn't interested in anything but our bathroom.
You mean he won't see it?
That's a slight understatement, my boy.
I wish I were boiling in oil.
Well, anyway, it cleared us with Dottie's father. He thinks everything's all right, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, everything's fine.
He's taking me away Monday. Back to Hoopville, Illinois. I hate Hoopville, Illinois. It's very depressing.
Hello, Marge.
Oh, Tony. Oh, Tony, where have you been? Why didn't you write to me?
I was kind of tied up on it.
What do you mean, tied up?
Well, I was busy and... Marge, look,
What, Tony?
I'd better give up this idea of trying to be an actor and really... Oh, acting just doesn't seem as important as some other things right now. I mean, the shape the world's in and...
Oh, but Tony, that's why the world needs actors now more than it ever has in its life. It needs entertainment and laughter and someone to make it forget the dreadful things that have happened to it.
But Marge, honey, listen. The world needs people to do other things, too, you know.
Please don't talk like that. I'd feel so terrible if we were the ones that let the kids down when they've been so wonderful to us. And having Mr. Kenny see the play means so much to them.
Please don't cry, Marge. We got married so we'd be happy.
Now look at it. Oh, Tony, if you let our getting married spoil anything we've all intended to do, I'll hate it.
Hate what?
The baby.
What baby?
Baby we're going to have.
Marge.
Aren't you glad, darling? Please be glad.
Well, sure I am, but...
And if you let me write spoil anything we've started out to do, I'll never speak to it.
Marge.
Oh, it's like the poor little thing will have a mother that won't speak to it.
It will be the baby's fault, Marge.
Well, the baby's part of you, isn't it? Well, all right, it'd be your fault, wouldn't it?
Well, couldn't you even speak to the part that would be your part?
Only if you promise not to leave the kids at least until Mr. Kenny's seen the play.
All right, Marge. I think everything will turn out all right. If we can get him to look at the play before Monday morning.
Oh, yes, he's got to do that on account of Dottie.
Yeah. Dottie, well, what's she got to do with it?
Her father's taking her back to Hoopsville, Illinois Monday morning.
Oh, Marge. But where will you live then?
Why, wherever you live, Tony. Won't I?
Sure. Sure.
Naturally.
Sure, naturally.
I gotta go back. I just came out here to take my medicine.
Medicine? Good grief, does having a baby make you sick?
Oh, not really sick. You just get nerves and you want tomatoes and cream puffs and things like that. It's awfully silly how you feel. It's all in your head. But this fixes you up all right. You have to be careful, though.
You do?
Yes, 1 teaspoonful makes you feel divine, but 2 makes you sick to your stomach, and 3 makes you go out like a light.
Good grief, you better be careful then, honey.
Let's go back.
Marge,
What, darling?
thanks ever so much for the baby.
Well, I suppose Marge told you, huh, Tony?
Oh, boy, I'll say she has.
Well, what are we going to do?
We're going to have a baby, of course.
No, I mean about Dottie's father taking her back. You're gonna what?
We're going to have a baby.
Or are you deceitful?
Why, you moron!
Okay, it's all right. We're married.
You're married.
When?
In May, and the baby's going to be born in April.
Oh. Well, I didn't mean anything like that.
The heck you didn't.
Don't worry, Squirt. I think it's swell.
Yeah, it's swell, but I didn't think they wanted men in the Army that were going to have babies.
Shut up, will you?
What did you say?
Who?
About the Army. What did you say?
Oh, I said, you'll find very few men in the Army that's going to have babies. Very few.
What's that got to do with Tony?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. Why should it?
I don't know, Tony. Why should it?
Oh, what's the use? Because I'm in the Army, that's why.
The Army, huh?
Oh, Tony.
We couldn't tell anybody we were married, could we?
Never thought about the Army.
I didn't know how to tell you, honey. Gee, it's been awful being away from you.
Oh, that's just like me, isn't it? Just thinking about myself, not thinking about you at all. Poor darling, you must have been awfully worried.
Yeah, couldn't tell the Army about you, and I couldn't tell you about the Army.
I just can't imagine how it happened.
Stanislavski.
Yes, I'll tell Mr. Kenny.
After 2 seasons with Mr. Robert Mantell, I was with the Buffalo Summer
I'll
Stock.
tell Mr. Kenny.
I want to see Mr. Kenny, please.
Have you an appointment?
I want to see him about our having a baby.
Well, there must be some mistake. Mr. Kenny is a theatrical producer.
Oh, no, it wasn't a mistake. Mr. Kenny has to come home, even if it's just for one night.
Well, if you'll just have a chair over there, please. Mr. Kenny, there's a young lady out here who wants to see you about having a baby. I think you better see her, Mr. Kenny.
Well, all right. You listen on the dictograph, though. I'll leave the key down.
Yes, Mr. Kenny, yes. You may go in now.
Hello, Mr. Kenny.
Out here, young woman. Just what you're having a baby got to do with me.
I'm not going to have a baby. We are. You see, there's 6 of us.
6 of you? Where have I seen you before?
I'm Dottie Coburn. I live right over your head in the apartment upstairs.
Oh, Coburn, you're the one with the maniac father that tried to give me a bath.
My father's not a maniac, Mr. Kenny. He's part elk and part lion. And he has the biggest silo in Illinois.
Dottie.
Hey, I got in.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry, Mr. Kenny.
So it's you. I might have known that your teeth were in this somewhere.
We're telling Mr. Kenny about our baby.
What is she talking about?
Well, it's really very simple, Mr. Kenny. You see, my sister's husband is in the Army, and somehow they're going to have a baby. Dottie's father's going to take her away, and that's why we want you to see our play before Monday morning.
Because Tony has to be back in camp. I don't know what those soldiers are going to say when he tells them he's going to have a baby. Norman gave him a cigar.
You will see our play, won't you, Mr. Kenny?
What play? What in heaven's name are you talking? Look, will you get out of my office before I go stark staring mad?
Okay, we just asked. You don't have to get mean about it. Come on.
Is Mr. Kenny going to look at our play?
No, he's not.
And I won't be here when our baby's born.
I guess not, Dottie.
I never have any fun.
Would you get her out of the office, please?
All right. We're going. Wish Mr. Stanislavski was here, don't you, Kate? Mr. Stanislavski wrote our play, Mostly Murder, and he wrote it.
No, he didn't.
What did you say?
Oh, she's just mixed up. He didn't write our play. We don't know who wrote it.
What did you say about Mostly Murder?
We just said it was an awfully good play that we'd like to...
Good play? Of course it's a good play. It's a great play, but how'd you know about it?
No, about what?
Mostly Murder.
Our play?
Mrs. Garnett gave it to us.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she found it in an old trunk, some broken down author left.
What's the matter, Kate?
You knew about it all the time. All the time I was telling you about it, you had it up your sleeve laughing at it. I want my play.
Why should we give Mr. Kenny our play?
He says our play is his play.
I don't say it is. It is. I wrote it. I starved for it. I was locked out for it. I want my play. Please give it to me.
Even if we wanted to give you your play, Mr. Kenny, I don't think Norman would let us.
And who is Norman?
I guess Norman's the most wonderful man in the world.
Now, where is he?
He's where we live.
Well, I insist on being taken there.
All right. Is Mr. Kenny coming with us, Kate?
Elba has been my Gethsemane. It is finished. Think. I am going to Paris. I must be true to my dead. They will march with me towards freedom. The torch is not out. I shall light the world again. Austria, Russia, even England. I am a man of destiny. Oh, Marie. Marie, you must help me. You must.
Why do you play Napoleon with a French accent?
Well, he was French, wasn't he?
No, I mean like Boyer.
Oh. Well, I'm just trying to make him lovable.
Mr. Kenny. Norman, an awful thing had happened.
Mr. Kenny's written a play.
Our play.
Mostly Murder?
Yes, and I want it, please.
You wrote Mostly Murder?
I certainly did. It's my property, and if you don't give it to me quietly, I shall have to sue you for it. Well, where is it? Give it to me.
We haven't got it.
You haven't what?
We haven't got it. That is, written down, I mean. We don't believe in that. Working with the script, so after we learned it, we threw it away.
They don't believe in working with a script.
That's right, Mr. Kenny, so the only way you can get your play back is watch us act in it, isn't it? I mean, you watch us give a performance of your play and take it down some way, and that way you'll get it back.
By George, you're right, and I've got a dictaphone. Will you wait till I get it? It's just downstairs. I'll be right back. Don't start anything till I get back now.
We won't.
Tony, you better... Hey, kids, this is our chance.
Yeah, come on now. He's going to be right back.
Let's see, I've got to get my crystal ball.
Sir, I better get this uniform off.
Forget where the script was, Norman. It's just right
Please,
there.
Dottie, you don't know anything about this. Understand?
All right, Norman.
Dottie ought to have another dress on, something long.
Would my graduation dress do?
Anything, but hurry. Now, how do you suppose she ever graduated?
Oh, politics, probably.
Come on, Marge, let's get this furniture in place. Oh, I forgot about you. I'm sorry. Sit down. You can't lift anything.
Yes, I can.
Sit down.
All right. Oh, gee, I hope he likes us and nothing goes wrong.
What could go wrong?
Well, I wish we had another corpse for that first scene.
Well, we haven't.
Button me up, will you, Marge?
Yeah, I wonder what's keeping Mr. Kenny.
He probably had to shave his records. Hey, where's Mr. Kenny? He's not back yet.
Tell him what Mr. Kenny's doing, Norman. You know.
Oh, I said he probably had to shave his records.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, well, let's rehearse the beginning while we're waiting. Won't hurt any.
I could certainly use it.
Hurry up, Kate. Come in.
Kate, we're going to rehearse the beginning. All right, places, kids, and make it good.
Oh, it's got to be good. So much depends on it.
All right, everything all set?
Listen, wait a minute. You forgot the cards.
Oh, every time I see that, I'm going to laugh instead of scream.
Well, we can't do anything about it now. Okay, places, everyone. Curtain.
The spirit says the girl who saw the murder must rise. She must walk to the bed, and she must pull away the blanket.
Don't anyone move. Who are you?
I am a sinister butler. This poor child, why did she scream?
Oh, darn it, Marge, you're not supposed to be laughing.
I can't help it. It's that pillow. It's supposed to be my dear dead sister. Oh, so funny.
I think it's funny, too. It does take a lot of imagination.
Every time I pull that knife out, feathers blow up in my face, and I'm supposed to say that business about blood all around.
Well, maybe this will help. Now, look, kids, we can't break up like this when Mr. Kenny gets back.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's that pillow. Marge, we couldn't get anybody in this much of a hurry.
Maybe Mr. Kenny'd be the corpse.
Certainly not. Where could we get a corpse this time of day?
Why, Muriel, what a coincidence. Muriel, how would you like to be a corpse?
No, I didn't do anything.
Well, you're going to be a corpse whether you like it or not.
Oh, please don't. I didn't mean to make any trouble.
Not much you didn't.
Really, I didn't. Anyway, nobody believes me. I'm in trouble now. My uncle made me come over to apologize to Dottie. I certainly don't know why I should, though.
Muriel, darling, we don't want you to apologize. We just want you to do us a favor.
And it'll be fun for you.
You just have to be dead.
No, I don't want to.
Muriel, I don't think you understand. We want you to play a part in our show.
Oh, what sort of a part?
Oh, it's a grand part. The kind you can really get your teeth into. It's the most important part in the play. Why, if it weren't for you, there wouldn't be any play.
You're on the stage almost the entire time.
Oh, I don't know if I could learn all those speeches.
Oh, well, that's the beauty of the part. You see, it's all in pantomime. You don't have to say a word.
Come on, what do you say?
Come on, be a pal.
We'll fix it with your uncle.
Well, all right.
Fine. Now, in the beginning, you're lying on the sofa, dead.
Oh, but you said it was a big part.
It's tremendous. You just stick this knife in your heart and lie down.
Take it away.
It won't hurt you, Muriel.
Oh, it's a trick knife, you see. It goes in there like this. You see?
Is that how they do it?
You'll be perfect in the part, honey. Absolutely natural.
Now, Marge, for heaven's sakes, when you see her, scream, because that's my only cue to enter.
Don't worry, you'll hear me this time.
Now, this is where you're dead, my pet. Awful dead. But very, very expressively dead.
Do I just lie here?
Yes, dear, you just lie there.
Can I breathe?
No, don't breathe. Critics don't like actors who breathe.
All right, places, everyone. Get set. Okay. Oh,
pardon me. I'm sorry I kept you people waiting. See, I had to.
We know.
I should need 2 tables, yes, sir, to put these gadgets on. One here and one over there.
Anything I can do?
Plug that in, will you please, Philip?
Yes, sir. Connection, please.
I'll get your chair. This goes in front of the little lady with the gypsy costume, please. Are you sure this is my play?
Oh, yes, Mr. Kenny.
Mr. Kenny.
Now, I wonder if there's anybody here who can say something so that we can see if this thing is working.
Oh, let me do it. Let me do it.
All right.
All right, everybody quiet now.
All right, go ahead.
Ready? I am the sinister butler. This poor child. Why did she scream?
I'm sure that'll be quite enough. Now we'll play it back and see how it sounds.
See if this is working.
Oh, let me do it. Let me do it.
All right.
All right, everybody quiet now.
All right, go ahead.
I am the sinister butler. This poor child. Why did she...
All right, now we can go ahead.
All right, don't forget, this is it. Make it good or curtain. All right, Mr. Kenny, curtain.
The spirit says the one who saw the murder must rise. She must walk to the bed and pull away the blanket.
What's the matter?
Oh, ye gods.
Just a minute. In my play, the corpse didn't say anything.
I know that, Mr. Kenny.
Muriel, you're supposed to be dead.
Oh, but I thought you were hurt.
You're not supposed to think you've been murdered.
Maybe we should have used a real knife.
Well, I don't see anything to get excited about. After all, I never practiced a part.
She wants to rehearse to be a corpse.
Yeah, well, I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Kenny.
All right, let's get ahead with it.
Well, if I have to lie here, I want something to drink. I'm thirsty.
You're thirsty?
Yes, I am. Ever since I was a little teeny-weeny baby, I couldn't go to sleep until I had a glass of water.
Look, we'd better use the pillow.
No, Tony, of course she's thirsty. I'll get you a nice, refreshing drink, Muriel.
Oh, and bring in a bottle of ketchup.
Marge, Mr. Kenny, if you'll just bear with us for a minute, we'll go through the whole thing, all right?
Yes.
Marge, look, you can give her that stuff. Or
She keep quiet, doesn't she? Go get the ketchup.
that stuff's dangerous. Too much of it.
Don't worry. Here you are, Muriel, darling.
What is it?
It's a surprise. I know you'll like it. Drink it down.
Well, now can we get started?
Yes, sir, just a moment, sir.
That's very good. Thank you. Now we can begin.
How do you feel?
All right.
Blood all around. There. Now you know what a fish cake feels like.
Are you satisfied now, Muriel?
We're all satisfied.
All right, now, everything set? Places.
Blanket.
Curtain.
Spirit says the girl who saw the murder must rise. She must walk to the bed, and she must pull away the blanket.
What happened? Good heavens! Has anybody been hurt?
Oh, ye God.
Oh, it's Mr. Kenny.
Why, you deceitful Shylock. What do you mean by giving my play to these incompetents? I could have you arrested. By George, I will have you arrested.
Oh, please, Mr. Kenny, don't be mad at Mrs. Garnett. She was just trying to help us.
Why, yes.
There are plenty of plays in the world out there without
What's
you.
he talking about?
He said you gave us his play, Mrs. Garnett, but we're giving it back to him, so I don't see what you're mad about, Mr. Kenny.
Why, no.
Oh, let's start again.
But I distinctly heard a scream.
We were doing a play, Mrs. Garnett.
A play? But what was that scream?
That's part of the plot. I have to scream.
Look, Mrs. Garnett. You keep telling Mr. Kenny how much you like us as actors, I mean. We might all get jobs out of it.
I certainly will. My, that would be fine. On account of the rent, you know.
Don't forget it.
No, I don't.
All right, come on, kids. Places again, and try not to let this bother you. All right, everybody all ready?
Yes, indeedy. Such attractive youngsters, aren't they?
Dreadfully.
And such fine actors. Aren't you enjoying the play? I think it's wonderful. So entertaining. Too sweet for words.
Please, Mrs. Garnett, not now.
Oh, excuse me. Well, go right ahead.
Curtain.
The spirit says the girl who saw the murder must rise. She must walk to the bed and she must pull away the blanket.
Idea. What's the matter? Hey, look, me. What's the matter? What's the matter?
Take it easy. Now, don't move, anybody.
What is this?
All right, who screamed?
Well, I did all of a sudden.
You have no right to breaking in here like
We
this.
got a call to investigate.
Well, this young lady did scream, but there's nothing wrong.
She screamed when she saw the body.
Body? What body?
She's mistaken, there isn't any body.
Yeah, of course not. What will we be doing with the corpse?
Now, officers, please don't make fools of yourselves. There's been no crime. We're trying to put on a show. My name is Arthur Kenny. I suppose you've heard of Arthur Kenny?
How do I know you're him? You got any means of identification?
Certainly. Mrs. Garnett, the landlady, will tell you who I am. Mrs. Garnett, tell them who I am.
Mrs. Garnett.
Please, Mrs. Garnett.
You mean really?
Of course, really.
Oh, is the play over?
Mrs. Garnett, these policemen think there's something wrong here.
Oh, I thought they were in it too. Oh, you missed it. You should have been here. It was wonderful. I loved it. It's a shame it's so short. The most exciting part was where she saw the poor murdered girl lying there.
Murdered girl where?
Please, Mrs. Garnett.
Why, right there under the blanket.
Oh, golly. Call her headquarters.
Oh, no, she's not dead. She's just fooling.
Well, she ain't denying it, is she?
Look, this has gone far enough. She's making believe. She's pretending. The whole thing is make-believe. It's a play. These are all actors, at least so they believe.
Sure, this is a trick knife. All you gotta do is pull it out. Pull it out.
Like I thought, it's a fake.
Catch him.
Well, I guess we made a mistake.
You certainly did. Anyone with a slight modicum of intelligence would know she was pretending.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Kenny. We'll go now.
Yeah, well, don't let me rush you.
Oh, goodbye.
Get up now. I say you get up now. Officer, just a minute, please. There is something wrong here. This young woman is unconscious.
Maybe she's only tired.
I was right all the time. She's been drugged.
Oh, no, she hasn't. She's acting. The play, you know. Come on. Wake up, Muriel. The play's over. Wake up. She's the stubbornest girl I've ever seen in my life.
Awfully good actress, isn't she?
She's unconscious. What's been going on here?
I did it.
No, she didn't. I did it. I gave it to her to keep her quiet. She kept sitting up all the time.
Well, this is preposterous. I'm not going to get mixed up in anything like
Kenny,
this.
we haven't even started
Nobody
yet.
leaves here. Let's find out more about it. Call an ambulance. Oh, I better call a wagon, too.
Oh, no.
George!
Don't touch that phone, because if you do, the building will blow up into 1,000 pieces. And you go with it.
Better get away from it, Joe. He might not be kidding.
Stanislavski never kids. Do you, Stanislavski?
Now, look here, officer. This
You get to an outside phone. I'll take care of this till you get back. Something funny here. Now, just what did happen here?
I demand to be allowed to leave here.
Don't let him leave
We
us.
had an awful time getting him here.
If you make him stay, we'll confess the whole thing. We'll reenact it for you so you can see exactly what happened. Won't we, Stanislavski?
Why, yes, sure we will. We'll spill the works.
Now, look here, officer.
You get back there and shut up.
Okay, officer, it was like this. You see, these people were sitting around, and the corpse was covered. Now, I was just outside the door, and this girl was in a trance, like this. Curtain.
Wait a minute.
The spirit says the girl who saw the murder must rise. She must walk to the bed and she must pull away the blanket.
Don't anyone move.
Good. You finally made it. Change the record and we'll go on with the play.
I guess Mr. Kenny's dead by now. Dead? What are you talking about? Well, last night when he left, he said he was going to kill himself.
It was a good try, anyway.
It's awful being a failure when you're only 18.
We'll certainly get the old ha-ha when we go back to Creek County. Sure talked big when we left.
Well, I don't care about that, Will, and I think that the baby will be born and its own father won't know what it looks like. Laura will have to go back to Rhode Island and finish being the ENTIST.
Any sign of it?
Not yet.
I wonder why they won't get dry.
It must be the humidity in here.
How do you feel, Muriel?
I feel like a jigsaw puzzle that hasn't been put together.
Maybe some of the pieces are missing.
No, I'm all here. When I was in the bathtub, I looked.
Why did you get into the bathtub with all your clothes on?
I was leaning over it, and I must have had a dizzy spell. It was almost as though somebody had pushed me. I want to go home.
Go ahead.
You'll make quite a hit at Grand Central.
Just as soon as my clothes dry out, I'm going to get Mr. Cohen to come back here right away. He won't even wait until tomorrow to take Daddy away when he hears what I've got. Oh, I better go. I wish I had a toothbrush.
I don't know why she can't wait until we find out what Mr. Kenny thinks of our play.
She goes out of here, she'll have to use water. Water wings.
Maybe it's Mr. Kenny.
I didn't want you to stay in this place any longer than necessary, so when I finished my business sooner than I expected, I decided that, Who are you?
Who, me? I just came in to use the telephone.
See, I told you so, I told you so. I told you Daddy was living with a lot of men.
I don't even know what a man looks like.
And where have you been? Your uncle's been worried sick because you didn't come home.
I couldn't come home. These
We
people
didn't want to say anything, Mr. Coburn, but she got kind of pie-eyed.
I did not. They stabbed me and they wanted me to be a corpse and they poisoned me and I was unconscious. When I came to, there were 20 policemen in the room and I brought ketchup all over my front and then they tried to drown me. I don't think they liked me.
Oh, we're crazy about her, Mr. Coburn.
So, this is the bath-crazy idiot from Bellevue, is it? And these are the two keepers, are they? Daddy, aren't you ashamed of yourself?
Daddy, you mustn't get so excited.
I'm not excited.
Don't shout so. Just be very quiet. We're going to have a baby.
What?
I told you so, I told you so.
Oh, Daddy.
Dottie's confused, Mr. Coburn. I'm the one that's going to have the baby.
Have a cigar.
Yeah, thank you. I don't want a cigar. All I want is that my daughter to get out of this place. Daddy, go get your things immediately.
Don't cry, Dottie. We'll see each other again. Honest, we will. Rhode Island's clear across the world from still Illinois.
The world's getting smaller all the time, honey. Now, you just keep thinking of that.
Let's get started. Muriel, aren't you ready?
Mr. Coburn, I can't go now. I'm all wet.
Absolutely right, Miss Forster. Absolutely
You
right.
just leave her with us, Mr. Coburn. We'll take care of her.
Thank you. Come on, Daddy.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, Dottie.
Bye, Dot.
Thanks for everything, Daddy.
Well, honey.
Give our regards to Hoopsville.
Come on, Daddy.
I've got something very important to tell you, Norman. Even if it makes you mad at me.
Daddy, come on.
I love you, Norman. I always have loved you, Norman.
Sure is a dumb little kid, isn't she?
She must be.
The spirit says the one who saw the murder shall rise and walk slowly toward that worm and lick the daylights out of her.
That's a good idea. This is for Norman. This is for Dottie.
How do you do?
How do you do?
I'm Phillips, Mr. Kenny's man.
Oh, yes, I remember you. This is Phillips, Mr. Kenny's man.
Oh, hello, Mr. Phillips. Mr. Kenny have a message for us?
Yes, Mr. Kenny wants you all down in his apartment in half an hour.
He does?
How'd he say it?
Yes, when he said it, was he mad or was he glad?
I'm sure I do not analyze Mr. Kenny's inflections and cadences. In half an hour, if you please.
Yes, sure, we'll be there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wonder what he wants. His man didn't sound very enthusiastic.
Oh, people's men never sound enthusiastic. That's why they're people's men instead of people.
Well, what the heck? Let's go down and find out. We can't be in any worse shape than we are now.
You said it.
I like you.
Kindly make yourselves comfortable till Mr. Kenny arrives.
Thank you.
Wow! This looks like our apartment with clothes on it.
Well, he didn't burn it. That's a hopeful sign.
Maybe he's going to sue us.
Oh, don't be silly. How can he sue us for rehearsing his play? We didn't perform it in public to get paid, did we?
Thank heavens.
What do you mean? We were good.
If only so many things hadn't happened.
Let's turn on and see what happens.
Oh, Norman, no.
Well, there are voices, aren't they?
Who are you?
Oh, I just dropped in. About the rent, you know.
Oh, please, Mrs. Garnett. This is a play. Please. All right, Kate, go ahead.
No!
That's when you got stabbed, Kate.
Ah, the crystal gazer is dead. I wonder who will be next. The nervous young man was next.
That was wonderful, Tony, that kind of gulping noise when you died.
I'm sorry to say, sir, that the two mysterious sisters were found in a well at midnight. Completely drowned, sir. Sir. You know.
Think maybe I overplayed it a little?
Oh! Keep away! Keep away! Keep away!
Sounds like she's singing Dixie.
Strange. They're all dead. Good heavens. That means, of course, that blood smeared cap in my suitcase. That was the clue. I killed them.
Norman, shut it off.
Oh, ye gods.
We stink.
He is pretty terrible.
Oh, hello there. See, you've been entertaining yourself.
Oh, Mr. Kenny, we're sorry.
We didn't realize.
We'll go quietly.
What's the matter with you? Don't you recognize great burlesque when you hear it?
What?
Burlesque.
You mean you think that was funny?
Well, it's so funny we're starting rehearsals immediately, just as you played it. Interruptions and all. Oh, it's terrific. No one could have written a thing like that. I'm having the contracts drawn up for you now.
Oh, burlesque.
Oh, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have a baby.
Well, I'm sorry I can't pay extra for that. Bargain's a bargain, you know. Where's the corpse?
She's upstairs.
Well, she's safe. She can't go anywhere.
Where's the little Coburn idiot?
Dottie. Oh, she's gone.
Gone? Where?
Back to Hoopsville, Illinois.
Oh, she can't be gone. She's the funniest thing in the show.
She is.
She is.
Oh, she didn't get anything right. No, she's got to be in the show. I'm sorry.
Oh, ye gods.
Excuse me, but there's a young lady downstairs who wants to see a young man who wants to see a young lady downstairs.
What young lady and what young man?
She said Norman. But when I was a girl, young ladies called young men by their last names. But I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. Where, Mrs. Garnett? Who?
There. Although why she don't come upstairs, I don't know. She lives here.
Dottie.
Norman, I came back. I had to.
Dottie, listen. Mr. Kenny's going to produce our play, and he especially wants you.
Well, I know how I feel because I came back because I especially want... Well, you know what I want, Norman.
Well, how'd your father let you go?
Well, he didn't. He kept me at Grand Central while he went, and I got counting up to 18, and that's how old I am, so I just left.
Oh, Dottie, this is wonderful.
Wonderful on account of the play or on account of me, Norman?
Well, wonderful on account of you.
You mean it, Norman?
Why, sure I mean it.
Oh, Norman!
Oh, gosh, I really do mean it.
Norman.
And she said she didn't even know what a man looked like.
Well, she'll just have to stop saying that now.